Welcome. It really is a great joy to be able to be in contact with you. Some of you, we've been doing this together for some years now, and to be in contact with you once again, even though we do have the limitations and sometimes the frustrations of meeting and sharing only on Skype or Zoom or whatever. But anyway, we're here again. And as usual, joyfully, we have some people who've never been with us before. And so a few minutes of explanation for them to make sure that they are fully involved in our journey together. We're all together on the journey of life, the lifelong journey, the open road. And we know that when we're traveling, especially when we're traveling by foot, with no mechanical support, we need times when we sit down, rest, get our energy back, get the inner stillness that we can listen to, and get some real insights into the journey we are making at this moment. And so the purpose of these videos that we're sharing is not the usual one, where most of you before looked at a YouTube video or something on your computer. You looked at the name, you looked at the title, the name of the person giving the information, and that's really what you were looking for. Information or entertainment or being convinced that this was right, and so on. Now, our purpose with these videos is really quite different. We are taking this rest on the journey together. We're picking up some theme that we all start with, but we're all going our own journey. And it's what we do with the themes that are presented in this video on YouTube. It's what I personally find in my reflection on my experience and my understanding where the value of these videos lies. If you're looking for information, then you've got many, many programs you can look at. This is a stimulation for all of us to energize, to re-energize, and reflect deeply on the journey we're making, where we are at the moment, and where the next steps have to be. So here we're going. So the process is different because the purpose is different. And it might be a help, those of you who are not used to this, if you keep a pen or a pencil near you, where you can write down a few words, because the thing goes fairly quickly once we've actually started. So here we go. We chose a word for this month's reflection as a theme. The word was chaos. I did have a little hesitation after the choice. And then when we started to record this a few days ago, and the recording got interrupted, but when we started to record it, about half an hour before, I'd been listening to the world news for midday, and the one word that introduced the world news was chaos. Everything is in chaos. And I thought, oh, well, we're absolutely on target and in time. It's a word we've all used, even if it was only a mother feeling desperate when she went into the children's bedroom and looked at the chaos they had made of all the things that were in there. It's a common word, means things are just not in order. Does it matter? It matters only because we assume that there is a purpose. And if there's a purpose, then we have to have some clear reflection as to how we fulfill that purpose, how we achieve completion, or discover that it's not possible to achieve completion in certain things, but chaos, where things are not in order. We might even have gone on to say, well, whose responsibility is it that things are not going in order to fulfill their purpose? We might think of chaos and things being out of control as somebody failing in ownership. So there's a beginning with the word chaos. It's more difficult just to play with the words. What we need to do then is now apply that word to a specific situation, which for you, you see as chaotic. Take one, first of all, that is in the world around you. A situation you would call chaotic, without a purpose, without a definite plan, without any hope of success or fulfillment. Take one in the world situation around you. You may go immediately to politics, of course. You recognize one. Certainly people in Europe may be recognizing certain aspects of the Russian invasion of part of the Ukraine and the outcome, and what happened to organizations like NATO and the European Union. You might go a little further and see some major organizations in life over here that now look as though they're not going to achieve their purpose. The way is not clear, the way they're going. It's not ordered. You may be thinking of what? Your own country. Or you may be thinking of a religious tradition you belong to, like Catholic Church, for those who follow that tradition. So look at something general, widespread, but affecting your life also. Then take the word again, chaos, failure to complete, to be fulfilled, to achieve. Take it in relationships, professional relationships with your colleagues, or even sport if you belong to some teams, relationships with friends, relationships with those who have more authority, or then come down to family, relationships in the family, and then your most intimate sexual relationships. Are they slowly moving towards completion? Or is there some disorder, some lack of fulfillment? So there you are. To recognize, you need to reflect deeply. It doesn't matter where we begin, just find out where the word chaos, things that are not in order, are not moving towards natural fulfillment, where they are in your life, in your experience at the moment. And of course, doing that, we're bound to find those experiences that are the most life-giving, the most valuable, the most effective, because they are in order. They are in control, purposeful, as far away from chaos as you could want. So that's one of the things for the month ahead. But almost inevitably, once we start giving time to our own experience of that word and what it means, it's going to bring a light on another word, creation. What brought all these things into existence? Did they come out of nothing? In which case, they were created. If they didn't, then we are not talking about creation. Now, we use the creation, the word, he's very creative. Oh, she's such creativity. We use it quite incorrectly, because whether we're talking about the music somebody has composed or the evening meal that she has created, none of those things have come out of nothing. We're reminded in the Vedic tradition, our earliest and perhaps the soundest of our traditions, religious traditions, and in the early part of the Vedic scriptures, we get this. At first, there was neither being nor non-being. There was not any sky or anything beyond it. There was no death, nor yet deathlessness. Of day or night, there was not any sign. There was nothing. Everything came out of that nothingness. How? Well, the Vedas tell us the one, not the one person or the one God or the one power or the one anything, just one. Breathed, but without breath, meaning without breath that we know it. We're putting the words on it because we don't have any experience. But the one breathed by its own impulse. Other than that, there was nothing at all. So when we talk about things being very creative, we're really talking about them being a very pleasing, artistic, sensitive putting together of what already exists. If we just apply that to all the things around you where you may say, oh, he is so creative, or she is so creative, with paint or with technology or whatever. No, not even our most beautiful music has been created. It's the putting together artistically of the sound that already exists. Now, that's difficult for most of us. And it's going to our reflection on chaos will probably lead us to the point where we need to look very carefully at why and from where all that exists has come into being. Whether it's a single drop of water, the life of that single drop of water, or the tiniest leaf falling from the tree, and a minute animal, or the ancient dinosaurs, From where? Creation. But we can leave that at one side at the moment. We have really more than enough to lead us forward on the journey during the next month. We hope that all of you who may have joined us for the first time in these stimulations to reflection, and finding and discovering our own experience. No two people have exactly the same experience, because no two human beings are exactly the same. We are all of us unique, one only. So wherever you decide to start with these words or these promptings for reflection, enjoy the month ahead. Enjoy it, and please share with somebody who may not have the chance of sitting back and listening and hearing what your reflections have been and being encouraged and stimulated and helped to make their own experience, their own journey, their own reflections during the coming month. And don't forget, the sharing is not just with the people who happen to be in the room next door. They can be across the world now quite easily. At the moment, I know I'm sitting in Vienna, in a room here in Vienna. It's not in Die Quelle, it's not the Southland House. And I know some of you who will be listening and will go away and do some of this reflection are in every country in the world. It's so easy. At least it's easy to be in contact by the media. It is not easy to make ourselves sit down alone, be still and silent, and hear my own experience of chaos and creation. One final word, because I didn't put it at the beginning. Enormous gratitude again to Walter Pippik, who has recorded this and made it available. And believe me, he is an extraordinary patient person, because we've had endless difficulty with the technology. Goodness only knows why, but this time we have. But it's come through, and it will come to you with much joy and hope to hear what your experience really was.